It's time for Power Hour.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the stream, where it's still raining down sell orders on the market, where that key support, well, we know broke with the candle close confirmed yesterday. But the best type of price action that we had received was a formal bearish back test of that inflection zone that was once a support for so long, flipped to resistance at the highs of the day before rolling over all the way to a low point of $85,836.18, the lowest price we had seen since November 14th. So pretty clean break for now, but you know, anything's possible. They pivoted. We're gonna run, man. It's power hour. It's been dumping all day. So let's rally. Let's get a stock market rally the next 60 minutes before the close. Short sellers maybe cover. Okay, well that might propagate Bitcoin higher. I mean, they could come back for a more formal test in the coming days of this level as resistance. All right, where it looks something like this. But yeah, I mean, not good. Technical support's broken. Not really much here, you know. So we have the fib extensions. You know, 83K is a good 1272 fib extension, anchoring that way. But if you just anchored from, I guess, the initial low to high, yeah, look what they did. Like, you know, I'm not talking about the liquidation event and this high right here. I'm talking about from the initial low to high of this range. Look at that 1272. I mean, it was touched perfectly. 85. Well, let's say it was off by like $20 and $100. 85,772 right there. I mean, it almost looks perfect, right? So you're getting into that shorter term fib extension territory. So not a big deal. That was a pretty quick drawdown. We were down over 5% at the lows. Yeah, the orcs won, man. Sorry, Minas Tirith sacked. They're coming for you, hobbits. Even though they were doing it in the book already, but they're really coming for you now. Okay. Yeah, and no one's here to save you. All right. So 200-day moving average, 81,700 at this point. I mean, that's, you know, moving. So it's going to change. But target-wise, you just look at the fib extensions. It's about all you got. Let's go, friggin' Big Mike! All right, let's do this, man. Hype in the chat or else.
Big Mike .886 tipped $150. DA respected.
Then we have a sound clip for that. Big Mike, thank you so much. Here it is.
DA respected.
Did that work? I think that worked. Did you hear it? The TA respected? Yeah, Big Mike, you're right. Because Big Mike brought it to the attention of, like, the Patreon. I mean, he was just, like, in the Discord. He was like, hey, man, what about, like, thinking about this, man? Like, you know what, dude? It's so proper of at least its potentiality. And the longer we did this, the more real it became. And it just seemed, wow, this really is last point of supply type price action. Buyer inducing joke rallies, never making higher highs, starting to fail to see local levels like 100K again. It looked bad. It looked like Wyckoff distribution schematic, and it is now being confirmed. But I mean, I don't think there's enough follow through yet. Right, what happens if we just, like, they come in and we bullish engulfing candle this thing back above 91K tomorrow? Okay, well, then it was a fake out. And we are monitoring that situation. I'm going to be here every day. Monitoring price action correlation to the bottom of the schematic.
Anonymous tipped $25. Bitcoin dominance getting rejected hard RN. Altcoin season is here. It was all a fake out low.
Oh, yeah, Anonymous, is that true? Yeah, I don't know if that's real, man, but we'll look at Bitcoin dominance. I mean, yeah, it is interesting. From last night to today, you wouldn't believe it, but dang, man, the altcoins, they've kind of like recovered a lot. In fact, Bitcoin got wrecked harder than the altcoins throughout the evening into the morning. But it's kind of like maybe, you know, the sellers they're running out of supply to sell of these scam coins. We're just finally starting to get to that point, which is interesting because of some of those M shapes. But let's look at Bitcoin futures real quick. You know, someone might be asking about target. A gap fill seems adequate if it's real. If this is a real bearish breakdown. Now you don't want to argue and say it doesn't exist because it's real. I'm just pointing it out. 93,925, about 94K is an unfilled gap on the top side now. They did that. They manufactured that gap. So, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't rule it out. What if they fill the gap first and then go down 77? They could, right? Just think about anything that happens at this point. If we get a rally, you have to recognize when the buyer starts stalling out. Okay, that could be just the lowest high before rolling over again. More distribution. So you just got to be mindful of that. Just because we rally here, if we do, it still doesn't mean anything until buyers are recapturing a discernible swing high. And I see the last one discernibly being around 100K, at least on Bitcoin futures. So those levels have to be recaptured. And that's so far off. Like, Bitcoin will have to appreciate in value at least 15% to be safe, to maybe be able to say, hey, we're still in this thing. If they rally at 10% and it rolls over, it's just another lower high. And the downtrend you've been in for a month now. So gap fill below you, though. People are like, what if so we talked about, okay, what happens if they rally it here? We discussed things that have to be done, right? What the buyers would have to do to turn things around. That's a lot. 15% appreciation in value to turn the ship around for number go up. We're back, baby. Okay, so on the other side, like, if the buyers are unable to recapture 91,880, or they fill the gap and we roll over again and we start accelerating downward, I mean, easy target 77,435. That is the gap fill from November 8th. So that, I mean, yeah, we already looked at the fib extensions. Like, you've already hit a 1272. If you want a 1618, 80K. But then if you're talking about horizontal line support resistance, there is none, because all-time high breakout was November 5th, or 6th, really, the day after. 73,870. I mean, that's your next
Stocks
zone.
like Qualcomm, iRobot, Appian are killing me. Appreciate you helping us out.
Yeah, iRobot, very disappointing. Qualcomm, though, was kind of made sense. Qualcomm was, I believe, AVGO, was that the one that the beautiful bearish extension W pattern and put in a lower high after the type 2? That was perfect for lower prices. But yeah, iRobot, really, really disappointing. Yeah, definitely down on that too. So what are you gonna do? That's when liquidity gets rugged from all markets. Almost everything is a victim. Okay, every asset gets hit really hard, and the more speculative ones take on way bigger losses. But at the same time, I was saying that, and Tesla's down 10% today, roughly. It finally hit a support we've been waiting on. So yeah, I mean, if you're talking about targets to the downside, 80K is a 1618 fib extension from the structure high, this whole structure. 77.4 is the gap fill. Then horizontal line support begins at 74K, 73.8. All right, so those are your levels. The downside, if they were going to take it lower, which we don't ever act like we know, but then that's not very good. That's a good start for sellers. Sheesh. The assessment of the Wyckoff distribution could have protected you, right? Could have made you say, hey, maybe I should just be cash. If I'm not going to short, maybe I should just be cash. Oh, okay. Well, today it was good for you. Okay, that's Bitcoin. We're looking at Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, I mean, after yesterday, it was putting in the second highest daily candle close in years. down 1.4% when it was up 1.7% yesterday. So, that's what I'm saying. The interesting dynamic of the day, right? Dynamic du jour would be altcoins no longer rugging like they had been before Bitcoin really broke support. So interesting for now. You gotta wonder, maybe are sellers just exhausted? Have they finally just offloaded everything they can? Maybe we're getting there, right? They've round tripped their Trump pump completely, 100% or more. Almost all of them. Not all, but almost all. Okay, so I don't know. You confirming a top up here? Okay, good for alts, I guess. So, I mean, if this was actually topping out, then you'd be like, wow, that could be really, really good for the likes of something like Ethereum, maybe. Maybe. What do you mean Ethereum? Ethereum sucks, dude. We know. You don't tell me. But Ethereum, hey, wait a second. I mean, you're down at support. They tested it, right? We got back to 2342. Big level. I mean, this is not a joke of a zone. July 2021, January 2022. It's been resistance in 2024. It's been support in 2024. And you got the M shape completed. So it's like, all right. Still not great. And then there are other ones that are maybe a little more clear. Just random coins out there, maybe like basic attention token, for instance. Just talking about these M shapes, like, dang man, they got these completed M shapes. They're just there. So if you wanted these to play out and start reacting higher, then Bitcoin dominance would need to continue to fall from here. So that's maybe what's going on. Like, Bitcoin dumped really hard, and then the altcoins are like, they have completed these M shapes but have gone nowhere and done nothing, and now they're just kind of rolling over in that reversal zone, price reversal zone. And maybe we're due for a reaction at some point, type 1 reaction, because we haven't even had one. So it's just something to think about, right? It's just kind of what we have. Hey, these are the cards we have, chat. Okay. There are other ones out there, same situation. Some not like DOT. I think DOT has the same M shape completed down here. You're at the price reversal zone, pattern completion zone. I mean, you're there. You're at kind of 423. It's a definitely level reversed before in 2022. I mean, look what it did. It went from 420 to almost $8 from that level acting as resistance reversal. June 2023, it went up to at least 568. So you're at a level, you got a completed M shape, and it's like, all right, well, Bitcoin broke support though. But alts are fine. Alts are like, well, we're just trading as low as we were, 3 weeks ago. You have not invalidated these potential reversal patterns. They're still extremely valid. It's very interesting. Ethereum Classic was another one, kind of the same thing. Like, okay, man, that was kind of, you're still around that area. Gotta wonder what's going to happen. Because anyway, we can look at the bigger ones though. We can go to, of course.
Since we started out on Bitcoin, let's go further into crypto.
The XRP, yeah, XRP. It was so bad, man. It was like we're cooked. It was down over 6% at the lows last night. 206 low, and now 226. It is appreciated. It has recovered off those lows by almost 10%. But we're just waiting like, hey, we figure 190, 196 would be the target area below 265, and well, we got pretty close, but we're not there yet. Okay. Just letting you know, right? It was bad. I mean, it hit the lowest price since February 3rd. Okay. BNB, it's up. It's freaking up 1%. Oh my God, it's at the highs of the day. Off its low point of 586. Up against that 200-day simple moving average. Like, that is what it is testing right now, as well as 621.68. Very real level from history and more recently from last year. They're testing it as resistance. not great. I mean, you need to break that and recapture all these levels. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really have that much confidence in BNB right now. Okay, and then you've got Solana that is up 1.4%, but the context is today Solana made its lowest price since September 18th. But yeah, some bids came in, man. They came in at levels where they've come in before, at least initially. So yeah, finally, all these sellers, they ran out of supply to sell because they finally offloaded. And so the selling pressure is just not there like it was before Bitcoin broke support. All right, so, you know, it's good. We've made it. We've made it to the tree line, right? The open fields, the open pastures. We've made it here, but now we need structure. If you want an edge, right, you need structure. You need M shapes to complete. It takes time for that. And all you got so far is Solana near its high of the day, with Bitcoin still down over $3,000. So you just wonder, without a formal confirmation, this thing could run as high as 159, right? That's what they do. Like, it's, if you break 190, most likely going to 130. If you hold 130, you could at least be going to the midpoint. Again, there's a couple peaks here where you reversed. Again, 160, they could take it there without an edge. So there could still be, like, you can't even believe it, without any sort of edge, there could be like 11% upside just to go test that level of resistance and roll over again like it did in history. Then we'd be looking for some secondary test. You would want something like this to happen. I mean, that stuff like that could be incredible in the future. We just need more time, because we had to make it to the tree line. We had to make it to the level where there's liquidity, where there's potential, there's been historical reversals. That's where we're looking to identify structural developments. And sorry, we're still impulsing. So we need more than this, but it's a great start. We got there. We made it. Yeah, and so in Power Hour, shorts are covering. The fear is kind of like fading out today. This typically happens, especially after a couple of days of selling. Yeah, last hour of the day. Oh, it's been bad all day. Well, as soon as that new 60-minute candle is painted, here, turn on the bots. We're reversing, right? The S&P 500 is rallying, 59.83. Nasdaq's also rallying. The Dow Jones is hitting a high of the day, right? This is Russell 2000 also getting close to its high of the day, not quite there yet. Yeah, this is just what happens. So we looked at the big boys, and then, you know, you got stuff like Doge. What happened? These things were getting cooked last night. NVIDIA, that is not a good alert, I don't think. Hold on, let's get to NVIDIA. Hold on, NVIDIA alert went off. I can't remember if that was good or bad. It might be good. 129. Anyway, so Doge got to a low point of 19.6%. That was the lowest price we had seen on Doge since November 8th. And that third target of the setup was 17.8 cents, so you didn't quite get there. But that's what happens, man. They're just running out of supply because they've just been dumping, offloading this thing incessantly. Okay. So anyway, NVIDIA, yeah, I think it's rallying. Like, there's no way it's going down with the index funds. Yeah, rallying. Okay, I guess I had an alert set up. So they're just holding the 200 moving average, coming off the lows by a lot. You know, 124.48, 129.30. Okay, let's break 130. Break 130. But I'm thinking like a 118 test would be good too. They could maybe give us a nice confirmation low down there. Easy for risk management, if anything, but still, I'm just staring at the distribution here, and I'm like, and you do have earnings coming up tomorrow, so good. Got flip your coin on this thing being up or down 7%. You flip your coin, it goes that way. All right. Yeah, here is Bitcoin rallying. And again, on the 4 hour, you could easily see something like this. Okay. I mean, there is just nothing stopping that from happening. A back test, if anything. And if they break it, then fine. False bearish breakdown, but we still have to make higher highs than previous highs. You have to. Tesla's hit a support and is bouncing now, actually. So I guess we can let's just look to the cryptos. Let's look at the S&P 500 that, you know, I mean, like, right, it's nearing neutral on the day. They'll do that. They'll do that. Still going for your lowest daily candle close since the 16th of January. And still below $600. But yeah, nice recovery as intraday made its lowest price since January 15th. But yeah, buyers obviously been coming in, man. Short sellers, day trading are covering. That's what they do. Dow Jones, again, just saw a high of the day. Yep. Really strong, man. Going for the highest daily close since February 20th. That gap will probably fill too at 44,174 unfilled, I think. Some would say the wicks are, it's closed with the wicks, but not the candle body. So, all right, cool. NASDAQ also bouncing a little. But dang, man, they took this intraday, lowest price since January 13th. And you're at the bottom of this like consolidation structure that's been ongoing since the 18th of December. Multiple months of consolidation at the pattern completion zone of the butterfly, bearish butterfly.
Albemarle, Alb, NYSE1W. No need for clues. Great work as usual. Thanks for everything, man.
Arctic Invest, thank you for the euro, the 25 euro. Thank you for watching. We'll definitely look at ALB. Okay, I can't remember. Was that the one getting wrecked for a long time? Was on a bad trend. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it's reversing. No. Yeah, so this going for your lowest daily close since the 14th of January, right? So we're talking 5-week lows no matter what. You would, unless a crazy rally keeps coming in the next 30 minutes, which it could. Whatever. You're still thinking, man, is that like one high and then the second high with a form of confirmation? Why not go test 18,650? Why not go fill that gap? Unfilled gap at 18,448. Another one at 18K. Another one at 17,575. A lot of unfilled gaps on the NASDAQ composite. But yeah, it's all right now. IWM, man, we pretty much got there, right? That, okay, they can't hold this. Let's just wait for 213.209. Well, at the lows of the day, you got very close to 213.28. Below the 200-day moving average for the first time in a while, right? They keep testing it and testing and holding, and now you're below it for real. First time like since December 2023. They might start working on divergence here, but what was that? Did y'all hear that? That was a siren? I don't know, man. Where did that even come from? Maybe from my PC or something. That was really weird. I have no idea the source of that. And I'm thinking, oh, is that, what is it, Tangia? No, I don't even think Tangia works anymore. People don't use it. Definitely wasn't Tangia. All right. That was the bear alarm, dude. Anyway, okay, so there's your index funds. Gold finally dumped today. Got a bearish engulfing candle in the making on the daily. After what? Only after...
Fries are done.
Oh, yeah? Is that what it is?
Is that a joint?
Put the fries in the bag, man. Yeah, it did sound like a McDonald's fry alarm, didn't it? We know from experience, for sure. So, yeah, at the golden mean ratio, The 1618 of the diamond. Bearish and golden candle. Going for the lowest daily close since February 17th. Whatever. Still so elevated, and it could recover anytime. But yeah, it's finally flushed a little bit. All right, nice. This is where you would imagine like reactions occur at golden ratios. I mean, Bitcoin technically topped out there at its own 1618. 1025, by the way. Silver, not great. Down 2.2%. Yeah, any below 32.5. That's a big level, 32.50. So they could take this thing down to 29.81 and put in a higher low from this low. I mean, it's in such a long-term uptrend that it's until you're taking out 28.88. The trend's good. The trend's long-term up. So yeah, Bitcoin rallying, man. This is what it does. This is what they do. Power hour. Stock market. Shorts are covering their short positions they've had all morning, all day. They're done now. We're going cash for the close. And then we'll reassess tomorrow morning. Okay, the U.S. oil has hit its lowest level since of 2025 today. U.S. oil. Here it is. Lowest price seen since December 23rd. Bearish and golden candle. My God, I don't know. Things are not better. Okay, they're just not better on U.S. oil. I think you get back down to 67.59. That level's going to be a lot weaker because these highs were just testing inflection points as resistance. Both these highs are lower than these highs, so distribution still remains evident on U.S. oil, less than before. And so they're going to come test this level again, and it's probably not going to work out as well as it has been since June 2023. Just think about it, right? Like COVID crash low to high, definitely has room to go lower. $88,800 on Bitcoin. It was down to 85.8. It is up $3,000 from its lows. Up 3.5% off the bottom, off the lows. And it was pretty random. There's not really any, there was nothing there outside of if you anchored from like this low to the initial high, it was a perfect 1272. That's about it. That's all you have. Like it's just random. Wow. So yeah, I forgot to look at total. Let's just do that real quick because remember what they did. It wasn't great, man. It was real bad. Jonathan, we okay?
I like turtles.
There's bears out here.
So look what they did, man. Look what they've done on total market cap. The 200-day simple moving average tested for the first time since November 5th, the election. And since that, like, wow, they sneezed. Holy crap, the bids were there, weren't they? Total market cap up off its lows and 200 moving average by about 4.8%. Wow. But yeah, they cleanly broke that support yesterday, didn't they? Well, at least some parts of the support. Oh, 88,888. Oh my God, dude. Wow. I got to look at this because this is, you want to talk about bottoming? You want to see an asset, what it looks like when it's bottoming? Potentially oat futures. Yeah, like oatmeal. Oat futures. The harmonic. Look at this price action. Higher lows keep coming in. This is the stuff you want to look for. I mean, iRobot was showing semblances of this and whatever. Liquidity rug. Oat futures trading at its highest level since December 5th. Highest price of 2025. This is the stuff you dream of. M shapes completing locally. And then buyers recapturing key inflection points. And then higher lows. Recapturing the 200. I mean, this could be the bottoming out completely. Because this is like a huge M shape anyway. And it's like, this is all like a hop, harmonic optimum price stuff. This is like type 1 reaction, type 2 return. And this is what you're dealing with on the type 2 return. So it's like very probable that oat futures is bottoming out for real. Yeah. And your target's probably 487, 20 up there. That's the stuff, man. That's what dreams are made of. I mean, I don't care if it's crypto, stocks, commodities, currencies. It doesn't change. It's all universal. It's like math, looking for the predictable patterns, looking for the higher lows, looking for the positive price action correlated to key levels over and over and over again. Hive in the chat for oat futures. See anything else notable in this commodity sector today? Anything? My God, dude. Man, seafood futures hit its lowest price since like June 2016. Greg Seafood. Anything of note? Yeah, you know what's of note? Feeder cattle futures. Had this pullback and it's starting to run again. Oh yeah, hidden bullish divergence on the oscillators. This thing's so strong. Feeder cattle futures. What cattle's eat, what the cattle, the steak that you eat, what it eats is strong as F. And then I'd imagine cattle futures itself is similar boat. Oh yeah, like hidden bullish divergence now. And it's so much demand right now that they can't even test the old high at 190-160. Pivoting above that. What a trend, man. It's so strong. Gotta love the M shape that was there too for this rally to all-time highs. They're probably going to go for another test. All right. Wow. Just looking around at, you know, some other markets. Do y'all want to see cheese futures? Cheese futures, yeah, dude. Cheese. Cash settled cheese futures. Oh, do we have accumulation going on maybe? High or low? Yeah, dude, it looks crazy, doesn't it? Range bound forever. Midpoint of range. Okay, so fairly priced cheese. Yeah, and that's about, you know, those were notable assets, notable commodities. Not really much else going on. Too much. Man, palladium actually starting to look like redistribution. It's starting to look like crap again. They did all the good, positive stuff. You got one rally to test the top, you know, and then they dumped it again and again, and you rallied, and here it is. You're now confirming distribution on palladium. So we could be dealing with like a distribution structure now. Like, these pieces of data are not really good for the case when, hey, that should have been, we're reversing the trend now, higher highs, higher low. They're still making technically all these are higher lows than this low, but it doesn't look like it's holding very well. You're back below the 200 moving average. Like, what? It's starting to look bad again. So they're maybe just absorbing the demand that exists at this level, and if they don't hold that, then you got a long way down. I mean, 590 would be below. That's a crap load of value lost. They better start doing something at this support. Otherwise, you're cooked. Okay, anyway, so we were just looking at some commodities. We can look at the Mag 7 if you want. We already looked at NVIDIA. Here is Meta. Meta intraday hit its lowest price since January 27th. Not a big deal. Came on down to not even test 638, 632. Hasn't even tested that high as support yet. It's still drawing down. Not a big deal. It does that before it rallies again. Tesla, here it is. Tesla's at a very real support and not many bids coming in. Down 9%. But look at the level. Look how real it was. A major reversal point in 2023, 2022. Look at this. Support in 2021, it rallied all the way back to 400. I mean, what if you get the same thing? Like, you could get that same thing without a formal confirmation or anything. Look what they did. They took it all the way from the same level we just rejected and sold off into. Look at us now. This is where we are. What if we get some price action? Straight back up to 400. It could happen. But then look, it's such a real level. You cannot argue with $300 being a major battleground on Tesla. So they're holding it for now, but not really many bids have come in. So yikes. This is the worst by far. Nothing even has come close to the drawdown that Tesla's had of the Mag 7. Amazon's flat today. But at one point, Amazon was down 4%. So it has gone positive. It's trying to paint a godlike hammer right here. I guess hitting the heart line of this big channel that goes back to 2023, early 2023. Wow, really strong today. That's crazy recovery. But to think about it, all they're doing is filling a gap. You can't believe it. But before this green occurred, this gap down, and it was at 211.53, gapped from 212.88 and opened at 211.58, and they took it all the way down to 204 before rallying it, then to fill the gap, and that's all you're doing right now. So let's see if this potential hammer closes like this. We got 17 minutes till then, till the paint dries. Microsoft down 1.5%, real bad. I mean, you're talking. We got distribution going on. Wyckoff distribution, man. You could. Are we in last points of supply? We could be. Weaker form of distribution than Bitcoin's. There's no upthrust after distribution. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about this being the top of the range. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking Microsoft hit its lowest price today since August 5th. Is testing a support at 397.35. They don't hold that. 388.22. Then there's no controversy. Then it's like, wow, you got a decent amount of downside on Microsoft up there. That's just wow. I mean, remember the all-time high was 7-8 months ago, and ever since then, just a bunch of lower highs. All of them lower highs. So that's distribution. Less market participants involved with this asset for 7-8 months than what we saw in July 2024. And now you're rolling over to your lowest price in many months too. It's ugly. It's not good. And below the 200-day moving average to boot. Nothing about this looks good. Okay, Google. All right, lowest price seen since December 10th and an official gap filled. So Jesus chimes for the gap fill. And the 200-day simple moving average being tested for the first time since November 25th. Hype in the chat for gaps filling. That's what they do, man. They fill it. And it's just holding there. It's just sitting there. It's not really a formal support resistance, but it's happening. It's at that point. So nice to see a W shape respected and caught follow through. Earnings, what did it, man? And then Apple, you can't believe it. Streaking. Well, it was with green candles. I mean, today did make its highest price since December 31st and did officially, as of today. Oh, it's so close, man. I mean, you know, depending on if you want to consider a wick or a candle close to be the gap fill, they kind of filled the gap officially from December 31st. They filled that at the highs today, and that's it. So. Okay. We've been live now 45 minutes. If you're enjoying the coverage of just this price action, hit that like button, that bell, that sub. Thanks for being here. All right, the insanity quieted down from yesterday when we were dumping. We were at this low. I mean, 91.5 is where we were, and then just a short 8 hours. Within 8 hours later, we were drawn down to new lows after the daily close. So things are going to be volatile like this, right? 88.8, 88.2. What in minutes? I mean, if you're buying the dip right now, you are just gambling. You're just flipping coins. You don't have any sort of argument to long Bitcoin right now after a 90-day large Wyckoff distribution schematic became confirmed, at least with a candle close and a little bit of price action today. If you're below 91K, it's probably wise to wait for buyers to recapture that level for insurance, or wait for the Baba Booey, or wait for the gap fill at 77K. That's probably the most conservative thing you could do. Wait for the gap fill on CME futures, and then reassess. All right, what do we do here? We don't act like we know where assets are going one way or another, but what we do look for are structural developments to occur at key levels, and on the tail end of those structural developments, we're looking for favorable price action correlation to key levels. And Bitcoin certainly does not have any of that right now. And guess what? 98% of the time you're looking at any random asset, it's not going to show us those variables. It takes time, a lot of time, for these things to develop. That's why it was so good in September, October. Like, oh my God, the stage was being set. And then they went, all these cryptos set up. It took a year for them to set up this way. And then the election was the catalyst that triggered their runs from these bullish reversal patterns, and they went up 150 to 500%. And now they've round tripped. Traders market, not an investor's market. You have to have a trading plan in crypto. Otherwise, any gains you made, they'll be gone. Unless you're talking crypto or talking Bitcoin, excuse me. Everything else, though, unwise. So just go in with a dollar cost average plan for anything that's not Bitcoin. Phew. Yikes. Sorry, I just wanted to paint it a bear flag on something. Was that radium? Ugh, radium. Yeah, someone showed a chart of it. Looks so bad. Oh my God, radium, dude. This is what I'm. So all these ones that like are anomalous, meaning like, okay, the market is already cooked. Altcoins are already collapsed. And then there are ones that are just like lagging behind. Dude, I'm telling you, every cycle, they always find a way to catch up. And that's what this one's doing, Iridium. I love the ticker. Ray, that's my last name, dude. That's so cool. But at the same time, lowest price since October now. Right, off its highest level by a good 71% in 33 days. Unfathomable. But yeah, coming down to 228, and if they hold that, fine. There's no structure, though. You're impulsing. They don't hold that. One at a time, 186, 136. I mean, you would probably wait for a discernible swing low to high, 886 to be $2, 205. You just wait. Nothing to do. So, yeah, these ones that were, dude, it was so good. Well, if you stuck around, you got rug pulled in a month. Yeah, all this time. Think about it. Think about all this time from November 6th all the way to, it was 80 days of holding and 30 days gone. All gone. And then underwater. Lowest RSI since May of 2023. Gross, man. Hey, but dude, did you know that Mooding coin's up 19%? Little hippo, dude. Look at the little baby hippo. They're testing support as resistance today at the highs. The little Mooding that couldn't yet. Maybe they do, though. Maybe Mooding does recapture and turns into an adult Mooding and becomes formidable and dangerous. So it's not so cute anymore. But for now, man, you're below 6.3 cents. So you broke it yesterday. And you've rallied to test it as resistance, and that is it so far. Not really great, man. Not great. Yeah, a lot of the scam coins are up. Fwog coin, Fwog. Like, I can't even say frog, so I'm going to say Fwog. FWOG up 33% today. Hype in the chat. Your scam coin did it, man. Quadruple bullish divergence. Anyway, these memes, they're jokes, they're scams. They're going to do stuff like this. All right, cool. We got to talk about something that no one wants to hear. So remember Michael Saylor? He just recently bought another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin over the weekend. Well, unfortunately, his stock, MicroStrategy, just hit its lowest level since mid-November. Early November, excuse me. Since the election. MicroStrategy hitting its lowest price since November 6th. You think they would have filled the gap, but they didn't. They gapped the gap. What? Who does that? Yeah, they did. They're like, yeah, we're going to fill this, and we're just going to gap down below it. So you still have an unopened gap with the gap. So yeah, not even at the 200-day moving average yet. I mean, you can't even really care about this asset till maybe $178 to $200. That's where you'd start looking for structures to develop, like double bottoms or M shapes or something. There's just nothing to do. You got to let this thing, think of it. It's like an M shape that is incomplete. What if they did this and it still would be in a long-term uptrend? You wouldn't even believe it. You would lose it. It'd be over. MicroStrategy going to 155, 154.60. You'd go crazy. It'd be over. It'd be the end of the world. MicroStrategy going down another 38, 40%. Remember 500? Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Blow off top. The event. The blow off top event ushers in the correction, which is a process, meaning it takes time. And you're dealing with it. You're still ongoing. Yeah, a lot of assets taken on the chin day. Y'all remember Rocket Labs? It was doing things. It topped out. Lowest price since late November. Breaking an old support resistance, 2139. That old all-time high, 2021. Unfilled gap, $15. These are the ones that do the 886. This is like an S coin. It's finally concluding, probably. And if not, then way lower anyway. Like, fine. Still take us to a gap fill, 25% downside. Fill the gap, hit the support. 200-day moving average, a little lower. What is it? It's like 33% to go. All right, yeah. QBTS, remember the old legendary trade setup? Yeah, it was running, and then they just rug liquidity out of the whole market. Everything risks off. So unfilled gap, flip your coin, but probably lower. I mean, they didn't fill the gap for sure. Live Nation was doing things. Whew, man, this thing was really going. Big drawdowns, for now. Intel was good. It hit, what was it, just one target of the trade setup? Close to two. Target 2 was the gap fill. Couldn't get there. Sorry. They rug liquidity. It's a indiscriminate selling everywhere outside of a few defensive stocks, So unfilled gap at 22.57. You'll probably get that tomorrow. There was no bearish divergence or anything. Again, this is just typical stuff that happens when you have index funds that are completing extension W-shaped patterns with forms of confirmation and ongoing bearish divergence. And then you can just see they keep trying to make higher highs. Okay, we made an all-time high barely by like 0.02% every day. That's like the buyers are really trying and they're going nowhere. Even if it's a fresh all-time high, it's exhaustive. I can't really go anymore, but I'm trying. Yeah, NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. So it's going to be a big day. You want to see something sad? Square. Talk about a round trip, man. can't ignore, after a good run, can't ignore when buyers, they break a level and then you're monitoring it and then they are unable to really keep the price sustained above that breakout point and they fall back below. And we were very lucky to get a confirmation high, in early or late January. Man, when anything below $90, you got tremendous downside potential. And so now, after bad earnings, continuing to get routed, going for its lowest daily candle close since September 11th, crashing through that 200 moving average like it was nothing on the way back to $55, $58. That was rough, really rough. AMD, lowest price seen. Dude, very bad. Sorry, this warrants the...
Very bad, boys. Very bad.
Lowest price seen since November of 2023. So well over 1 year lows. And heading on down to 97.90, 94.25. Yeah, really bad price action correlation below that 119 level. It was broken. It was resistance. They couldn't even fill the gap. It was pathetic. They filled this one. Well, they almost did. Dumping again, man. That is 3 black crows. Pretty beautiful 3 black crows right there. Pretty much lows of day, down 3.84% and falling. And again, I'd imagine this would easily hit 97.90 with a 94.25 if things get real bad. Yeah. Skating along that old original supply line over and over and over, and then they failed to even test it, even though it was close, February 21st, a few days ago. A new Discord link. Sweet. New Discord link. Yeah, join the Discord if you are not in it. You get notified when I go live. And you're just connected to like-minded individuals that care about traditional technical analysis like we all do. Tilray, remember cannabis stocks, all-time lows today. Dude, they were going to change the world. No, they weren't. Still illegal. Never seen 78 cents until today. It's pretty gross, man. Here's Broadcom. You were talking about the contribution, like Broadcom's killing you, but it looked so good for lower price. This thing looks like a gap fill is imminent. 181. You gotta love it, man. I mean, goes to that harmonic optimum price, the 192 or whatever Scott Carney likes. 1 and 2, and then the sell-off, the lower low, then the lower high to confirm distribution. It starts rolling over. It's like you just wait now for 185 to 180 to be on deck. But of course, earnings coming up March 6th. Yeah, that one was no surprise there. Was there a request? I think there was. Maybe one. ALB. Yeah, ALB. Okay, all that little spurt we had on Bitcoin is wiped away. That 88,950. We're now at 87,9. So we're down about $1,000 off the highs in the past 60 minutes. It's volatile out there, man. That's all I can say. ALB. Yeah, dude. Long-term downtrend. Terrible. Oh, it's been nasty. Gotta love and admire, though, the rally to confirm that resistance as resistance before the trend really started going. You just don't know. But you made a lower low, the buying climax, that perfect bearish back test. And then you had a couple touches, 1 and 2 there. It's beautiful. Before all this happened. And now, yeah, you're hitting an 88% retrace in this previous low all the way to the high up there. I get it. But I'm not really, so they didn't make an 886. They made a 100% retrace from this low to high. So it's like there's no accumulation argument. The price action's idiolated. Still below the 200 moving average. Bad market conditions, right? You just think about like the index funds and how they look right now. Like if they draw down 5-10%, that's mild, dude. That is super mild, and it's become, I don't even know how they're doing it. It's somehow become irregular for 10% corrections in the stock market. It used to be a more normal thing. They have just sedated this market with 0 date to expiration options. I don't know what they're doing. They got it figured out. And so, but if we ever got another 5-10% correction on just index funds, this thing is gonna get nuked. It's gonna fall to its lowest price since in 5 years. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, so I get it. You got a big old M shape completing. You're at the 886 price reversal zone. But let's just wait and see. Down 3.16% today. How's it doing that at this 886? Yeah, trend is still your friend, and it's a bearish trend right now. I mean, yeah, 977 is the cutoff on ACHR. No, dude, I don't. Any of these speculative assets, they had their run, and it looks like they're done. ACHR included. Below 977 is probably 740 or something. Then there's earnings. Who knows? Earnings is tomorrow, I think. Dude, $3 was the real entry. I was just rooting for it because we got in at 3, you know, and it looked okay. But then, you know, liquidity pulled out of the entire market. So things like Palantir, only down like 3-4% today. All right, market is closed, by the way, so. Palantir did not fill the gap yet. It was very close. So they just tested that $85 high as support, and that was about it. But yeah, stuff like this, they're pulling it back. Rocket Labs, ACHR, all the quantum computing stuff, it's just everything. Indiscriminate. Anything risk on, speculative, pulling it out, pulling liquidity out. I mean, you know, after targets get hit, you can still have hope for something if they're holding technical levels. But once those technical levels break, it's like, nope, no hope. Lots of downside. Next level, 7 something. I think you're in the 7s now, right? On ACHR. Yeah, 776. I think 734 or something beyond deck. But then who knows about earnings? What's going to happen there? Oh my God. Worst time for earnings. You could think. Okay, so stock market's closed. Yeah, let's look at the VIX real quick. Volatility index. Hit its highest level today since January 27th. Meh. Man, there's still this elevated VIX, right? The bottom is now like 14.6, but then it was at 13. Then all before that was 11.9 to 12. So there's like, I mean, you can see the volatility, and it bottomed out July 19th and spiked. And ever since that event, that was the Japanese yen carry trade event that spiked the VIX all the way to 65.6. And ever since then, any low that's got put in is every single one has been higher than all the lows we were seeing before that event. So it's interesting. So your VIX is elevated now where it wasn't. So something to think about. I don't know. You don't really know, but again, with the way the index funds look, a 5-10% correction right here would be normal. TA respect. Just would. Yeah, so just go back to Bitcoin. Let's wrap it up, man. I've been live for over an hour now and was just covering what, you know, stuff we were identifying, looking at yesterday in the past few weeks, past month really, the last point supply, and the chickens came home to roost on Bitcoin. And maybe it's over. Maybe the sell-off's done, but no, we're not really catching that much price action randomly in a random area. So Bitcoin's relative strength index reading is at its lowest level since August 5th, that carry trade day where everything risked off. Thank you. Let's hit good. Okay, thank you. Is that Dark Souls, I think, maybe? Yeah, so officially Bitcoin on the daily has hit oversold threshold for the first time since August 5th. We've done it, man. You don't spend much time oversold, but you know, that day was very, very wild. That was a crazy day, August 5th. That was after that day. That was when I posted the Alibaba trade setup. It's like, hey, if the world doesn't end, this is good value. August 5th. Where are we? Right here. Wow. Look what happened. That was the low. Little did we know at the time. Yeah, they came for a retest, but never back to the intraday lows. Only back to test 52, 53K miraculously. Yeah, and then that M shape, remember the cipher or whatever? Had the exact same confluence that we saw on the Bitcoin legendary Gartley, the 1414 and the 786. So crazy, man. But here we are in another world, another day, another period of time, and we're impulsing after 90 plus days of consolidation sideways. Okay, so pray for Bitcoin. I mean, if we're going way lower, way faster, I might be live again tonight. Who knows, right? But if not, you know, I'll just relax and continue to monitor the situation, as you should too. And you want to be in the Discord so you get notified when I'm live, because if Bitcoin's dumping randomly at a random time and I go live at a random time, YouTube notification system will fail you. But if you're in the Discord and you have notifications turned on, I personally ping you that I am live, so you'll never miss a stream. That's big. So yeah, it might not be over. Okay, we had just broken the range. So thanks for likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Thanks, Big Mike, for that 150. Session Top Jesus. So until next time, respect the TA.